Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. This is pretty cool.
I'm
I
glad.
like that 1776 wood wooden
Yeah,
flag.
that's a wooden flag. So all the black on there is burnt wood.
Burnt wood.
Yep, with a
I need
torch.
that.
So shout out to Hateful Hank. That's his screen name on Instagram. And early on in our channel, like the first, God, I want to say within the first year for sure, but maybe the first 6 months, uh, I was scrolling through Instagram and some of his videos popped up on my feed, and it was a short video of him making one of these flags, and it was like
That's
clipped,
cool.
like edited where it was kind of sped up and this kind of thing. And I saw him making this. I was like, oh, I need that. So
Yeah, I
I
need one in
reached,
every room.
I know, right? So I reached out to him. Here it turns out this dude knows our channel
Oh,
and said,
sweet.
"Hey, my nickname's E-Rock. I run this YouTube channel for Trifecta Airsoft." And he was like, "Oh, I follow you guys." I was like, "What?" So I was like, "Dude, I want one of those flags." So I bought the flag from him, a couple $100, whatever. And then that red LED sign right here,
Yeah,
he made that as a gift and
that's
sent
cool.
it with the flag.
That's cool. Yeah.
It was badass. And then he made this, dude. I was like, I felt so spoiled. I was like, holy shit. He made this knife and uh, like from scratch.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
cool.
That's
Really
Okay.
burn aim into it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this thing is probably the sharpest blade I have in the house besides a razor. No kidding. So it's pretty cool, man. Made the leather holster and everything. So I felt like, geez, bro, like we were a new channel and everything. So it was pretty cool. But
Well, you're now what? You're up to what? 321 episodes?
yes,
What you came out
sir.
with one today or yesterday?
Yeah, today one came out was 321. Tomorrow is 322. Next week, next Saturday, this one, your guys's will
Cool.
be 323.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't. In case you guys don't know the history um, of the actual podcast itself, I didn't plan on starting a podcast. We started a YouTube channel doing airsoft like mystery boxes, unboxings, reviews, all that kind of stuff. So a couple years into it, my boys and their friend who started playing airsoft, or whatever, they got busy with life, kids, marriage, houses. Okay, and
These
I was
guys?
like, yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what happens. And I was like, man, I really want to keep the channel going, because once you start interacting with a bunch of people, that are questioning this, or we have a Discord and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, let me keep doing this stuff. So that's kind of where the podcast came from. I didn't really plan on it. It just happened along the way. And I didn't, at first, I really didn't plan on calling it a podcast or
Right.
making a podcast. So it was like, oh, I'll just throw these videos up. It's something cool. I think, our current viewers will enjoy me talking with this other person that they've already known because they know him from our Discord and that kind of thing. So, and then I was like, man, this is cool. Like, this is really fun. So I'm going to keep doing it. And then later on, like months into it, then I was like, I'm going to make this like a real podcast. So,
Yeah, I've
when,
enjoyed Alex here is actually the one that kind of got me into it. Introduced. We were on our way to is it Bolivar, Missouri,
Bulgaria, Missouri.
to an event almost 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "You got to check out this podcast." And he's like, "Trifecta." I was like, "Okay, I like the name. All right, I'm I'm listening." So we put it up on in the truck, and I think we listened to like two or three episodes on the way out there. And he's like, we can go on there. I'm like, you're lying. And then he showed me like the form where you fill out, your information and try to put in a request. And then when you message us back, I was like, okay, he's not lying.
yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
cool. That's
That is
awesome.
cool, man. Well, I'm on my goal is to hit episode 400. I want episode 400 to be released on New Year's Eve day. So December 31st of this year.
That'd be cool.
So
Is that like
uh
an anniversary?
no, it's more of it's not even the number of 400 episodes. It's not like a bragging right. It's more of a it's kind of a goal for myself to keep me consistent and focused on, because if I keep that goal, I've got to release 2 every week, and then kind of throw in a couple more here and there, which I want to do like a Mother's Day one. I want to do a Father's Day one, and then Veterans Day I always do every year. I do a special one for Veterans Day. So those will kind of add in, and that'll get me to 400. So, but yeah, it's more about the almost every episode out of the 300 something is a new guest. So it's a new story, and that maybe will help somebody in the future. So when I started these podcasts, it was like therapy for me, and so it was like this is what I want to do to give back, right? But yeah, man, I put that form on there, and the last 3 people I talked to, I did not find online. They found how you guys did or whatever. Actually, the last 2 guys, they found it by saying to their little Echo, dot thing or whatever, the Amazon Echo thing.
Oh yeah.
They said, Alexa, play Airsoft podcast, and mine was the first one that came up. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So then they went on the website and filled out the form. So yeah, man, I love your guys' your icon, your logo, the Knights 9 Airsoft, and I definitely want to get into that because it's very intriguing. But I have your your Facebook page pulled up. But why don't you guys give kind of an intro of each of you, and that, or introduce yourselves, and then we'll go into how you came up with Knights 9.
You want to just
You're the last. You want to go first, sweetheart?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Well, my name is Dakota, so I'm actually one of the original founding members of Team Night 9. And I've been doing this for, gosh, a long time now. I was talking to one of my other teammates who's been there with me too. This is for a very long time. Old man now, honestly, playing. Get joint pains and stuff now, back hurts now. But no, I've been doing this for quite a while. And it was something that started kind of near high school for us. So we had kind of started playing then, and then after we graduated high school, we kind of took it a little bit more to getting more into like Milsim events, going to bigger, larger events, traveling a lot more since we had vehicles at that point and could travel. During high school, we don't really kind of keep it local and go an hour away or an hour closer, to go to these places. But now, since we're kind of out, we're able to branch out and travel to new fields, meet new people. We've met tons of awesome people and been a part of tons of awesome events. And we started just trying to our original goal was just to travel around the Midwest, because that's where we're at. We're located here in Topeka, Kansas. So we're right in the middle of the Midwest, and our goal was to travel to all these different shops, all these different fields, and just kind of meet new people, ask how they got started, ask how long they've been playing, what they, look forward to or want to improve on with their fields or their games. Yeah,
This is my turn.
All right. Yeah. Let me go over a couple things real quick. I forgot to go over in case anyone out there that's listening that maybe finds this podcast like you guys did and just kind of turn on their car when they're driving or whatever. There's no rules. We don't self-censor. We talk openly. We talk freely. There's no subject that's off limits. Okay. If it's a part of your life journey or your airsoft journey or whatever, like, then it's cool, man. Like, we don't, yeah. So it's all open and all good to go. Okay. So we don't have to, I don't purposely self-censor to buck the system, right? I'm not trying to be rebellious in that way, although I am a rebellious kind of person. So that's not the purpose. The purpose is to have a free-flowing, open conversation about our life journey, our history, our whatever. Okay. Like, what got us to where we're at today? Who am I and how did I get here? Right. And how does airsoft fit into that? So anyway, so continue. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I got you. My name's Corey, call sign Chef in the airsoft world. I started with these guys. I'm much older. I'm 36. So I didn't start playing in high school. I actually met another teammate that is not here right now, Hunter, and he was actually one of my employees. I used to be a chef, executive chef, so kind of go figure with the call sign.
Makes sense.
And he was telling me about this airsoft team. I had played paintball when I was younger. I'm originally from California, so paintball was really, really big out there.
Right.
I've noticed like the difference between paintball and airsoft community is night and day difference.
Yeah.
Airsofters really don't like paintballers and vice versa. It seems to be that way. But I come from military background. My mom, retired Army, was in the Marine Corps. And it was the closest thing that I could get to without the repercussions, I guess you could say.
Right.
So he brought me out to a field in Lawson, Missouri, which is an old military silo. I think it was like the 40s or maybe in like the 40s or 50s. It was an active base. Has all the original structures as far as like office buildings, helipads, water tower, stuff like that. And it was the greatest thing that I could have ever switched to.
Yeah, it was.
And obviously I brought some, real world experience to these guys being younger. Whether or not they looked up to me or not, who knows?
We don't.
They don't. Yeah. We talk a lot of shit on each other.
Oh, that's necessary. Yep.
Yeah, it's necessary. But yeah, it just kind of got me into it. And, these guys, Alex just bought a new house about a year ago, and this young man over here is having babies, and I'm pretty much well established. My son's 15 years old and in high school. So we kind of talked about it, and I kind of pushed us to go a little bit further and travel a little bit further. We've gone as far down as Waxahachie, Texas, which is about 11.5-hour drive one way. So we try to push for as many events as possible, even open plays. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I've just poured as much money, time, and sweat and tears into it as possible, and we're only growing from here. It's
so
been
you said
fun.
Your mom is in the Army, retired, and then you were in the Corps.
Yep. I was.
Yeah. Yep. Fellow jarhead here, so
I usually don't get too much into it. It was a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
mine was so far along, so long ago. I don't remember most. So I don't get too much into it because
I stay in contact with maybe less than a handful of the guys that I was with.
Oh yeah.
But these guys kind of filled in that empty slot, if you will. So
yeah, I've got two guys that one that from back then when I served from 89 to 93, so that's a long ass time ago.
Yeah, I was 2 years old or 1 year old when you
right. And there's one guy that actually ends up living, like, we're both from up north. We both live in South Carolina now, and we were stationed at Pendleton together, and we live like 10 minutes from each other. It's crazy. So cool. And both ended up here for different reasons. And, so I keep in contact with him, and then one other guy out in Idaho from when we were stationed at a small little shooting range on Pendleton called Edson Range. So yeah, yep.
Yeah, it was cool. I will say the parents in the military life was not easy. Every 2 years, new school, new people. I was in Hohenfels, Germany all over Germany for 6-7 years when I was, really, really young and in school. And then I had to go back in 2004. And so it was a lot of fun, but
yeah, a lot of moving around. Yeah. When you have parents that are in. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
See, adults go, hey, traveling is so cool. But when you're a kid, Like, dude, you just want to like hang out with your friends, and then you're leaving all the time, so it's
Yeah.
not really that cool when you're young.
Well, now that I'm older, my wife, who's a little bit younger than I am, she's very seldomly left Kansas. I think she went to New York one time. Why anybody would want to go to New York, I don't know.
Right.
But she's heard all these things that I've done and the places I've been, and I don't want to travel anymore. So
Yep. Yep.
when you go to like 16 to 19 different countries, by the time you're like 23, you want to
Jeez, right?
you want to sit in one spot.
Yeah, like, oh, this is nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Awesome. What about you, Alex?
Alex, actually in the middle, I guess, changing my name.
he's in the middle of call sign.
I'm in the midlife crisis right now. I just turned 30. I just bought a house. We have this
Dirty 30.
30. Yeah.
Did you get a minivan?
Oh, not yet.
Okay, well you're still good.
I got a cigar and some beer, so that works. Yeah, I've been probably playing for 10, 15 years, maybe a little bit more than that. I'm not originally from here in Kansas. I'm actually from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Played a few years up there, and just throwing on some hunting jackets and paintball mask, and just going at it with a couple of other friends at their house. But it was kind of headed from there, and came over here, met Dakota over here, and he was like, "Hey, man, we got an airsoft team." So kind of joined into that, and I've been hooked ever since that.
Yeah, because I think it was that you messaged me, I think, on Facebook saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, like, you airsoft. What's that about? I paintball before." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's nothing like that." I say, "It's better.
It's a lot better. It's a money pit. You get into
yeah." So I showed him what we had done, where we have gone, and he's like, "Yeah, how do I get a part of that?" And so I think the next day you dropped like almost $1,000.
I did. I dropped $1,500.
He's like, "Hey, I got my
gun and everything." I was on it.
I was like, yeah. I was like, I just got a vest.
This is like, I swear that's the most common story. It's like somebody gets into it, and then 2 weeks later they're, oh yeah, I've got, I don't know, $1,200 into this stuff already.
Yeah. You got like 8 packages on your doorstep.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I mean, I've been with these guys ever since then, and we've been traveling around. Jesus, English is not my
You're cut off, son. Okay.
I'm cut off. Not too many.
That's okay. He's the medic. He doesn't need to talk.
Yeah,
There you go.
My call sign was Ghost, but kind of want to switch it over to something a little bit more plain, like Doc or something like that. But that's, like I said, I'm in that weird phase right now. Yeah, I'm
How
trying
did
to
you
talk
find
about Army call signs.
yeah.
So what was it, Ghost? Is that what you're?
It was Ghost.
Okay. Yeah. So Ghost, Reaper, like all those kind of, those are all those call signs are like, all of them are taken like 100 times over.
yeah. Well, there's one nickname that I'm swaying to. It's Caboose.
Caboose. Yes.
There's multiple reasons behind that. There's Red versus Blue. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like,
Oh yeah.
Halo. Yeah.
I used to watch that when it first came out, dude.
It
was before your time.
That was
We think he should be called Hello Kitty, and there's a story behind that.
Oh shit! Now that's a great one. Okay.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that a little later.
Hello Kitty is probably going to be the number one. I think we're just going to force it.
Okay. So we got Caboose, we got Hello Kitty, I guess. And then, so the other story about Caboose was I was actually at his wedding, and I was the very last person to walk out.
And I think the lady was like, "Yeah, you're going to be the Caboose of the line."
From that moment on, it just
Of course. That's how they come up.
Yeah, it was at my wedding. Yeah, a lady was trying to get us all lined up to walk.
You were last?
Yeah, he was last.
I was a loser. I know.
Yeah, she was like, "All right, you're the Caboose."
Caboose.
So how did all you guys meet again? Through work or for school or something?
So I met these guys through. You guys went to high school together.
Yeah, we went
right?
to high school.
Yeah, we went to high school together,
Oh,
but we
okay.
never actually really hung out in high school, though, which is pretty crazy.
So there's a guy named Johnny, who we will speak of never again. But
Yeah.
so I met him through a computer class in high school, and that chain reaction went all the way up to Dakota, and that's how I met Dakota and that team, actually our team now.
And then I was the food and beverage director at a restaurant or at a local college, and Hunter, one of our other teammates, had actually brought me out to an event, or I think it was an open play out at that Lawson, Missouri.
Yeah, it was an open play. Yeah.
I don't even think these guys liked me to be there.
I was iffy
because they're like, well, who the fuck's this guy? You know?
We still really don't. I mean, but no, we worked together too at Blind Tiger. Yeah, we worked together, and then Hunter kept talking to me about you
because I was in the kitchen part, and he was like a busser or a food runner, and I would yell at him and all them all the time, and I think that's why they didn't like me at first. But then Hunter brought me out to one of their open plays, and they were very unsure.
And then you and me together, we tore up that building and cleared out the whole building, just working. We didn't even speak. We just kind of were able just
didn't
to
say
navigate,
one word to each other.
We took out the entire building, just me and him. We got what, 12 guys, I think.
I think we had almost 15 guys out with just pistols.
Yeah, and that we didn't communicate at all. That was the first day we played together, and we just went through the building, and we just were able to read each other super well. And yeah, we cleared out a whole building with like 15 guys.
What?
It was pretty cool. There's a video, I think.
I think it's like one of the earliest videos we have on YouTube of us. Or no, it was my
YouTube.
It was my Amoeba M4, the first gun that I ever bought.
Yeah.
I also spent like $1,500. I actually the other day I checked on my my eVic account because it'll save all your past history. I'm up to like $4,800.
Oh my god!
It's a lot. It's a lot.
See,
I mean, it adds up fast.
I never did that. Yeah, I never spent that when I got into it. I never did any of that. I actually got all mine from just other people who were either playing or that were stopped playing. They're like, "Hey, you want this, helmet? I'll give it to you for $20." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And like, "Hey, Colin, that's where I got my plate carrier from. Is from our other teammate Colin. He was like, he swapped another plate carrier. He's like, hey, here's this, Fly Industries plate carrier that's top quality, top notch. You give it to you for like $60, including some taco pouches, included." I'm like, cool. And that's what I still run with to this day.
And you drop all your stuff.
And I still drop all my stuff. Still haven't figured out how to defy gravity.
That's pretty common as well.
You got stuff falling out of your pouches, which I'm now starting to do. So.
Well, there's so many people I've talked with. They go, all right, so what our team does, this is what they tell me. What our team does is when they blow the whistle or sound the horn or they say go, or like at a mill sim or a big event, they don't even run. They just stay there. And then they just walk forward and pick up all of everyone's gear.
See, I saw a short clip of that the other day when I was uploading one of our YouTube shorts, and I was like, man, I'm usually the one that I'll look at. Like last weekend, I looked at Dakota. I was like, I'm gonna outrun all these little fucking kids. Sure enough, I was just gone, fully geared, rifle swinging back and forth, and I don't think I dropped a single thing that time, but every other time I'm running like this weird knockoff Chinese battle belt with these real Kydex pouches, and things are falling out of my waistband, and it was all bad. If my rifle presses against my plate carrier, even in the slightest with the slightest pressure, my mag will fall out of my rifle. So.
Nice.
I think that's your beer. Okay, it's my beer.
So you guys started out and then just pretty much went gung ho, right? Like all getting into the events. And what was your first bigger? What's that?
We stayed around Kansas for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then we found Overwatch Tactics. We went to with that water park in Missouri.
Well, I had originally when I had started before Overwatch Tactics, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Or my T-shirt.
Who's that?
Shout out to Soto.
Yeah. Soto. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Overwatch Tactics. Who are they?
So they're actually not. They don't.
It used to be a Milsom host.
They're not active.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but yeah, no, they put on probably one of the best, I think, Milsom experiences we've been to was Overwatch Tactics. They had fantastic props. They had fantastic objectives. Everything about it was great. One of the most
flowed so nice.
One of the most famous events they would put was Conquest of Avalon. That's the one we would drive down to Texas for. So it was actually a Renaissance field. Is what it was. It was a Renaissance fairground that they had permission for us to play Airsoft, a Milsom event for the weekend there. And it was a lot of fun. They would have all these cool props there. One of them was they had like American Gladiator like type of swords and stuff. So they were on a bridge and you were kind of doing American Gladiator fighting.
Yeah.
With that. So it was, he did a lot of fun stuff. And I heard about him originally because I talked to him. He actually messaged me, I think, a long time ago. And this was back in Joplin. It was a water park.
You did the Enola Gay.
That's where I did the Enola Gay commercial. Yeah. So that's where I did that. But
you did an EG commercial.
Yeah, smoke grenades.
Yeah.
So it was terrible. It was terrible.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad. Yeah. So
hopefully this trumps that.
So a local kind of was a hobbyist store in town. They were trying to branch into the airsoft zone, and they were kind of asking me because I went there and bought some like BBs and batteries and stuff from them, and they were asking me like, "Hey, how do we branch more into this and get more into this?" And one of the things I recommended to them was, well, you got to sell BBs, you got to sell iPro, and then you got to sell batteries, and then you can sell some guns. That's what you need to get going. And they talked about some kind of pyros, and so I told them about Enola Gay. So they bought a giant box of Enola Gay smoke grenades. And they said, hey, like, if you can do this commercial for us to promote us and send it to us, we'll be happy to start giving you guys the Enola Gay smoke grenades. So they gave me, I think, 3 or 4 grenades, and they said, yeah, just go ahead and make a video. And I, made this really, really bad video.
It's on YouTube, so you can.
It's on YouTube, yeah.
It wasn't that. No, it's not on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
It's on our. It's on the Facebook page under videos, but it's like one of the very first ones.
Well, it's going to come down here shortly.
Oh no, we're going to show it right now. What are you talking about?
Oh, there you go.
I've kind of taken over. Well, Alex and I have both kind of taken over the social media aspect. And we don't have like a massive following, but I will say, anywhere that we go, the following is a lot different in person versus on social media.
Very much so.
Everybody knows exactly who we are. They've seen us before. They know what we're capable of, the work that we put in, and so on and so forth. So,
well, this topic has come up a lot in the last like month or so, but this is we were just talking about this. I did a podcast last night with a guy in Minnesota, and
I actually listened to that on the way over here to his house.
Okay, so that guy, the one that came out today, his friend, or these guys know each other. I actually recorded one last night. That one comes out tomorrow. But yeah, they were both in Minnesota. We were just talking about that, how in real life, the airsoft community is way bigger than what it looks like online. And the reason is because of the shadow banning, the censorship, all of that bullshit. And so, yeah, you're going to find, like, one of the things I said to him last night was, if anyone looks online, it looks like the airsoft community is not growing. But you go to these events, and I'm not talking events that are put on by these well-known event coordinators that have been doing it for years, even smaller ones that started in the last like year. Okay. There's like 500, 300 people showing up, 500 people showing up, just out of the blue. Cause wherever you go to put on an event, there are people in real life looking for these events. but it's like everything else online is the opposite. Like it's amplified online, but in real life it doesn't really happen that much. And airsoft is
Yeah.
the exact opposite.
Well, you know, and like, so I've been dabbling into like video editing for the last
Hmm.
probably 5 years. I
You're
built
getting used to it.
I
All right, old man.
I built a pretty beefy PT years ago, but my wife and I decided after the 2020 um, things that happened
Like
around
the
some of the
riots and all
city.
the bullshit.
Yeah,
And
the
okay.
summer of love, as they call it. We
Yeah.
ended up moving out into the country, so we actually haven't had internet for 3 years now, like nothing.
What?
I maybe have 2 bars of cell service on my phone, and I do all of my editing and everything social media literally from my phone.
Wow.
But
And then so then you just use the cell service. You don't have the Wi-Fi or nothing like that. You just use your
it's like
cell
a
service to.
small. So I have my couch. This is funny. I have my couch oriented in the position to where if I lean over and I hold it up to my face, I've got perfect 5G.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, that's
So,
funny.
but yeah, that's been a struggle. That's
I'm
um,
sure.
a struggle. But you know, we had a short video. I don't know if you've watched any of our YouTube stuff. I had one that we were out at the Rock Airsoft in Missouri. Shout out, John.
Shout out.
Um,
Yeah, man.
I posted a short video of me running a Glock through the shipping containers that he just added to his field, and I think I took out like 9 or 10 guys. You know, they're all getting medicked and not paying attention to the surroundings, and I'm just dumping a mag. But that video got almost 4,600 views in less than 12 hours.
Jeez.
And you know, the next day I try to post every single, at least a couple times a week,
Yeah.
to kind of fight the algorithm. But it, I haven't figured it out yet, man. 4,600 views on one day, and then I can wait 2 days, and it'll get 70 views.
Yep.
So and just like you said, I fully agree. Out in the real world, the difference between how noticed you are or recognized you are out in the field versus online is a night and day difference. And it really does suck. It kind of does dampen the mood of about that. But we're
Yeah,
trying.
it is nice to, when you put a lot of effort into a page or a video and trying to grow that kind of stuff, it is very discouraging. When we started our channel, it was steadily growing. All the numbers, all the analytics were going up and up. And then when YouTube they were the first ones to change their terms of services back in right around 2020.
2020, yeah.
Yep. So the first big change that they had, our channel overnight, within one day, the analytics went from all this growth to like half of our videos on our channel at that time were demonetized.
Yeah.
So overnight. And so I look at it and I'm like, what the hell? Like, what happened? So I went in and I read their terms of service specifically. I actually did a video on it early on when that happened. I did a video and I posted on our channel because I was going over all the wording and what they clumped in with the gun stuff or whatever with the toy guns. But even then, it still hasn't made sense. It's not been consistent either way.
Yeah.
So it's but yeah,
Well, they can change it whenever they want.
Yeah.
On the fly. They can watch, let's say, hypothetically watch a video that, we start talking about, pew pews, and it can be changed, just like that, and then taken down or demonetized. So.
And that's the thing, like people at first were like, okay, it's a private business. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Okay. But at least be consistent about it. Like if you're going to hold people, people's videos and channels accountable to this kind of standard, then do it across the board. And when we weren't seeing that, and it's still now, We haven't seen that. So the thing people still talk about, oh, they're going to fix their whatever, that, you know, their system. They're going to, no, they're not. Like, this is done on purpose. So I have a theory about it. I think it's because it's one of the only hobbies that introduces tactical training and gun use at a young age, because airsoft attracts 12, 13, 14-year olds,
Yeah.
and not just with little gel blasters or whatever, you know what I mean? Like squirt guns or whatever. It is like they're looking up to these guys that are playing mil sims that are fully geared up, okay, and learning real world tactics. And they don't
Right.
want a society that's awake and in control of themselves and know how to use weapons. That's,
Yep.
I think that's me. Maybe it's a conspiracy theorist in me, but if you put that mentality to how they're doing, you know, treating all of our videos and our online stuff, it makes sense,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
frustrating.
There's
So
a
I
lot of-
keep
there's a
telling
lot
people,
of podcasts.
let's go to Twitter. Okay. Twitter does videos, Twitter does posts, it does, and none of that stuff is censored.
No.
So
Excellent.
let's just switch over. Let's just switch over.
Yeah, there's a lot of podcasts that I've watched. I actually, so in 2020 when the riots were going on, I actually joined a podcast um, as far as like hosting and being a voice on there, and we would actually have people physically out in the shit watching these, you know, like Portland, Oregon, when they were, you know, trying to bomb the courthouse, the federal buildings
Oh yeah.
like that. We had guys out there, and we had their feeds up on our channel,
Yeah.
and we would get cut off because
Yep.
it's, you know, they're hurting people or this and that. But I think it's just YouTube writing the narrative with
Absolutely.
the certain people.
Yeah. My original Facebook, I had a Facebook, my original Facebook I started in 2008. So late 2007, early 2008. And I had all of my family, all of our friends, you know, all this kind of stuff over the years. Well, when 2020 happened, I started a new YouTube channel called Educate Yourself, and it was all about what you're talking about. It was the political stuff. I was going off about this. I would play kind of a, you know, I had a persona. I would wear like a American flag bandana, and I would be yelling and screaming about how dumb wearing a mask is, and, you know, the vaccine, blah blah blah. Okay, and all my shit got taken down. My YouTube channel got cut off. My Facebook, my personal one, because I was posting links to my YouTube videos to
Anything
all that.
connected to it.
Oh yeah.
would be
All,
taken
so
down.
my original Facebook got taken down. So
Yeah.
it's all that shit got away. So I had
Yeah.
to start over on my Facebook thing. What's funny is if you look up Trifecta Airsoft on Facebook, there's two pages. My current one.
Yeah, I know. I did notice that.
Did you see that? And the
Yeah.
old one that has like I don't know, 300 followers. Like, you can notice a big difference. I can't get into that one because that was the one that was attached to my original personal account. I'm like, shit. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, I know the feeling. But yeah, I started doing all the stuff on Rumble at around that time.
I
Just
love
transferring.
Rumble. Rumble's great.
Yes, right.
Yes. We're actually going to start. This last couple of weeks, we've started talking about getting a Rumble channel going and actually doing our own kind of, I guess you can call it podcasting. We're more interested in like doing gear reviews.
Yeah.
We actually, something I've been working on for the last probably 4 or 5 months is working on getting, you know, small sponsors for us.
Yep.
And I'm not looking for anything free. I will definitely pay for you know, good products for what we need, you know, what we need them for. So we've actually got XFOG on board. So that'll be coming up in the next maybe month or a couple weeks.
Yeah, good. I love XFOG.
So we'll have a promo code for us, and then, you know, if we do our own like reviews and stuff like that, we'll have promo codes for any kind of I thought about doing it just for subscribers, but I don't know. I think someone could easily just watch it and then type in the code and it should be fine from there. But do gear reviews, equipment, maybe events or
talk about videos,
airsoft fields, that we go to or that we want to go to. And who knows, if it grows big enough, maybe have you on our podcast.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Well, so I've been on, let's see, I was on, they don't do a podcast anymore, which I was hoping they would start back up. But oh my God. I had them on the podcast, each of these guys, the Task Force podcast. And so they were doing podcasts like every week, and they would have guests as well. And that was one of the ones that I saw before I started doing, like before I really known, okay, I want to do a podcast or make this into a podcast. But I watched a handful of theirs and I invited them on. It was great, man. They were, I really looked up to what they were doing because they had a good setup. They had a cool background. They actually had like a little studio set up and with different camera angles and stuff. I thought it was awesome. And I'm still not that fancy. Look, I got a webcam. I got some light up stuff back here, all this cool stuff that I've gotten, but that's it. I'm not doing all the different cameras everywhere.
So. Hey man, if you could have seen how long it took us to get this thing like this, like we were arguing with each other. So we asked if he had any tape. He brought like this little ass piece of Scotch tape that he was with.
We got tape, man.
And it was a feat. So we got here at like 5 o'clock to get ready and set up, and I'm
glad you did.
And we were down to the minute.
Oh, shit. That's crazy, dude.
I think we did okay.
It's a great, I was going to say it's a great flag though. Yes.
This is actually, we just got 2 weeks ago. I had this made and
we had it up at the keynote.
I really wanted to go with. We try to push for local and to support local, like small businesses, because I mean, how that's going, and they're all going downhill. But Vistaprint, $86.
Oh yeah,
it's really good material.
Shout out to Vistaprint.
Oh, for real, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Vistaprint.
That's where we got our first. When we got our business cards made for the channel, same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I want to support local, I'm gonna go with the best price.
Yeah, I mean, we all have that balance, or that there's a point where, okay, so like, and I'm sure you guys know this, I've been hit up numerous times in the last few years since we started the channel by patch companies that say, send us your, it says Pakistan. I'm like, nope, not doing it. So.
We had a guy reach out to us a couple weeks ago about patches, and so I kind of entertained the conversation, and he's like, I think it was like $2 a patch. I'm like, okay, so let's go a little bit deeper so he can bury himself, in this hole. And it was not good. I expect to pay about $5 to $10 a patch on a bulk order, which again, shout out to Poppins Patches, who makes our patches. Pretty soon we'll probably have a link on our YouTube and Facebook, so people can actually order and purchase.
Yeah.
And Instagram. But nobody cares about Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah.
That's all he's in charge.
That's all. Yeah. Post pictures. I'm good.
We're in the process of trying to get hoodies and T-shirts, but the design that we want seems too extravagant for the maker, I guess. So we're in the process of doing that.
I think we have like 5 websites pulled up right now.
Yeah. We tried to do a design last night through some local company on their website. They have an option to make, kind of like upload your images and make a PDF preview.
Oh, yep.
It was, I was going to order 25 large T-shirts with everything. We want the flag on the sleeve.
Oh yeah.
Our logo on the back with Night Nine Airsoft going on it, and then kind of like where, Topeka, Kansas on the front where the pocket would be. It was like $487 for 12 t-shirts.
I was gonna say, when you start adding stuff on the sleeves, man, that's where the price goes up.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
So, I might just bring out a paint pen and start on some Fruit of the Loom t-shirts.
Make a stencil, man, out of paper and cardboard, and just cut it, and then just spray paint that shit on. Okay.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Hey, listen, I'm saying that because I did that, not with these shirts. I did that for this is about 4 years ago. We had a Super Bowl party here. Whenever the Cincinnati Bengals were in the last Super Bowl they were in, maybe it was 3 years ago, but a couple of our family members are from Cincinnati. My daughter married into her husband, and his cousins and stuff are all from Cincinnati. So they were Bengals fans. So we had a big Super Bowl party here, and I was like, shit, I don't have a Bengals shirt. And they're kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Like if you buy because especially once they go
$60 for a jersey.
Right. So I bought, my wife bought orange shirts. I said, just when you're at the store, buy the cheapest orange shirts you can get. So we bought orange t-shirts. I made a stencil while she was at the store of a big bee with the little stripes through it, the tiger claw scratches. And I spray painted black spray paint on this shit, front and back. It looked awesome. And everybody came over and they were like, dude, where'd you get that shirt? I'm like, in my shed.
Yeah, that's funny. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know. I think this thing would be hard to stencil out.
Hard to spray paint. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that kind of stuff you have to do in layers. See, like this right here, because the T's not touching the triangle.
Yep. Yeah.
The stencil you have to do separate, like two separate things. It was a pain in the ass. You know what I did with this to get the stencils on my so we painted some custom like paint jobs on certain guns that we gave away. And so I ordered the stickers that go on your car. What are those called? Where they like this.
Like a vinyl?
It's a vinyl sticker, but you rub it.
I'll get to you.
It's like you rub it on. It comes on a plastic backing or whatever. You stick it on there and then push it real hard and then peel it off, and then this all stays. These are all separate pieces,
Huh.
And so it's if you see these ones on stickers on the back of somebody's window on their car that have all these different designs, but it's all together, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's one of these kind of stickers.
Huh.
So I took one of those. I ordered a 2-inch one. It's real small, and maybe about this size, maybe a little smaller. And then I would spray paint the gun whatever color I wanted this to be, and then I would let it dry, then put this on, and then spray paint the gun whatever the color the gun's going to be, the custom, whether it's camouflage or we painted one that was all bright yellow, and we called it the Chappie. Have you guys seen the movie Chappie?
Yeah.
Remember the gun that the yellow M4 the guy's using?
Yeah.
So we called it the Chappie gun, and we gave it away. So everything was bright yellow, and then this was black. So anyway, if you get one of those stickers made, you can put it on something and use it as a stencil. It's perfect.
We have. I think you ordered stickers for us, didn't you? You made stickers
A while back. Yeah.
but they're like just the plain Jane. You put the 4 quarters in and push it in and slide it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're not like like a PVC patch sticker or anything like
Right.
that, but they do somewhat mimic the shield. I don't
There's
know
a
if
lot
you've
of-
seen like our Facebook photos, but the original shield was pretty cheesy.
Well, that was
Oh, was it?
the one I made. So yeah, that was the original one was
It's actually
really
right
bad.
It's right there.
But the story behind that one was one of my other teammates that had been starting with me. He was
That's Salvi?
no, that was Colin still. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to make a patch order for our team." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "When? Like when are you doing?" Because I'm doing it tomorrow, so I need you to make a design like right now. So I was at my dorm and on my laptop. it's like 2 a.m. And he's like, "I need you to make me something right now so I can place the order." So I made something just within like 2 hours, I think, and sent it to him. He goes, "Great, I'm going to go ahead and place the order." And yeah, then you came along. We're like, "Hey, what is this?" And I was like, "That's 2 a.m.
too.
Yeah,
So this actually took me probably 15 minutes to make online. And this is our patch.
Oh, is that the original?
This is the new patch.
Oh, okay.
So,
That
and
looks
they're
nice.
PVC, Velcro.
Yeah, you got it right up here.
Oh, that's
That's the original one that I made for an
okay.
hour.
I mean, it's not bad. It's really not bad.
It's different. It's different. But,
I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
that's some nostalgia right there.
Yeah. Really, I can feel myself crying in my dorm room.
I remember you giving me that. There you go.
It was definitely time for an update. You know, it was the new patches came out really, really well. I'm really
Never have to update it again.
Why? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Our original one was actually had a lot more going on than this. So we, it was like the same kind of idea you guys have, like a crest, right? Like a shield.
Yeah.
With this in the middle, and then it had crossed M4s above it, and then below it, it had a bunch of stuff. Like it was a lot to fit in this little thing. And so me and my two sons and then JP actually drew it up. So he was actually the one that came up with Trifecta Airsoft. So when we started talking about it, I said I had another YouTube channel that I was doing reviews on, and that I still actively post on now. But I was doing reviews, and these guys got these. One of my sons got a little airsoft. I think it was a JG or something like that. A JG shotgun or something. And oh no, it was Jag Arms. That's what it was, Jag Arms. And we got. I said, dude, that's kind of cool. A little pump action, right? A little stubby, sawed off kind of thing. And I was like, oh, let me film that and put it on this review channel. So then a couple weeks later, they come back with like legit looking M4s, airsoft, like Crytac or something. And I was like, bro, what is that? And so then they were telling me about all these different guns and then all this stuff. And that's how I was like, man, that sounds like a lot, where like a lot of content, we can just make our own separate channel just for airsoft. And that was kind of how the channel started. And I was like, I'll do the channel. I'm already running this other one or whatever, so I'll film all this crap and I'll put it on here. You guys just play. And then Johnny was telling us about the mystery boxes, and so it kind of snowballed from there. And so originally we would all sit down together and kind of come up with ideas for the channel, you know. So we came up with this logo. Johnny came up with the name, because I said, I don't want to be in it. I'm just going to run it from behind the scenes. So, you know, it's you three. So that's how he came up with Trifecta, because of the three of them. And so he came up with this logo, and it had a bunch of other stuff. And I was like, man, it looks awesome, but it's not going to fit well on a patch, on a sticker, on a embroidered kind of thing.
Probably seemed really crowded.
It was very crowded. Yeah. And I said, so look at all the major, biggest companies out here, right? Google, Amazon, like Facebook, like you look at their logos. It's the shortest, simplest like thing out there, right? And I said, let's just take this out, and leave this. And when he drew it up the second time, he drew it up just like this. And I was like, I like that, dude. Let's go with that. So it is kind of cool to have a lot more stuff on it, but for a logo purpose or whatever, like a t-shirt, you know, you want to add a bunch of cool, like a scene or whatever. But
you have a lot more space on a t-shirt. And I think, you know, with like logos, I think that ties into like people's attention span, especially like even tying it into like social media.
Yeah.
People's attention span on a video is probably 20 seconds. So, you know, you want a patch that sticks out, you know, with something that's going to catch your eye with vibrant colors, or, you know, from your peripheral, like, oh, okay, you know, what's that patch say? You know, that when they finally look a little closer, you can you can really see what it is.
What's
So
that Airsoft team? Slaughter.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's just plain simple. It's just a slaughter.
it's just a black
simple
background, cloth background with a PVC riser that says slaughter on it with
Yeah.
cool little font.
Like
So,
blood dripping and yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had one of
That
those
was,
guys
that was
on.
kind of the
Yep.
idea, is to make something more simple and poppy.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, because a logo is really for branding. So your logo should be, like you said, all that stuff, like simple and basically something that somebody's going to recognize later on. Like they don't even have to know, they don't have to have any words to it or nothing. They just see it and they remember, okay, that's what, you know,
Exactly.
it's connected to this. Yep.
Like a specific, you know, your own little image. This,
Yeah.
you know, like when people see this patch, they know, like, oh, you know, that's 99 Airsoft. Blah, blah, blah.
So how did you guys come up with the Night 9? What is what's that about?
That would be this guy.
That guy right there.
So this is gonna sound really nerdy.
Hey man, Airsoft.
Airsoft
is full of the weirdest,
Yeah,
the goofiest, and the nerdiest people I have ever met, and it is fantastic.
Oh, it's
right.
So,
last event we had 2 guys running around in Teletubby outfits.
I remember that.
And it was like 80 degrees outside.
Oh shit! They had to be burning up, bro.
Yeah, they had me hot sweating just looking at it.
But yeah, no, it's actually from an anime. Where we were back in high school, we were big into anime series, and we had originally started a team originally, and our team before Night 9 was called Saber Company, and that's what we had started first. But another local team, we had like some issues with them, and so we kind of disbanded after that, just out of respect for that other team. And
well, that's sweet.
yeah. So yeah,
Right.
so then we decided to come up with a new team and rebrand ourselves on that. And so one of the animes, gosh, I can't remember the name of it now. It was a Viking name. I think Jorgamund or Jorgamunda or something like that. What's the snake that wraps around the earth?
Jorgamander?
Jorgamander, yeah, that's what the anime is called. And there's a team and there's a group in there of SEALs, and their SEAL team name is Night 9. So we decided to kind of take that, but we changed. Theirs was nighttime, and we decided to take the medieval route with it because we liked that a little bit better. And so that's kind of where we came out with Night 9.
Right, and it's we have the Templar cross, but don't be confused. It's not a religious patch.
Right.
It's not. So I actually get a lot of people that'll I'll get people that'll message me like, "Are you guys a Christian Airsoft team?" Like, if you hear how we talk to each other, it's a no.
Well, I had a guy at my old job who was really big into conspiracy theories. He was really big in conspiracy theories.
So me?
Yeah, worse, way worse than you. One of his biggest fears was Templars.
Yeah,
that was one of his biggest fears was modern Templars and saying all the stuff they do. So
isn't that the Illuminati?
Yeah, yeah. And
right.
So I had our patch on one time, walked in there, and he just absolutely freaked out. You know, seeing it, and he's like asking if I was a Templar, if I did this, or associated with this. I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can see it.
Like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, it's just our team name. And then, yeah, it was funny. But yeah, usually people like to connect it to something else.
That's what a real Templar would say.
Yeah. You got me.
Right.
But I'd say it's a great conversation starter.
Right. It is.
I wouldn't bring it up on the first date.
Right. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I scrolled all the way down on your photos on your Facebook page, all the way to the bottom with like the first posts or the first photos, and I see the original.
What year does it say on there? What year?
Let me see. Let's find out. May 20th of 2016. I'm actually going to share.
It was 10 years ago.
I'm going to share the screen for you guys.
Oh,
there's
bro,
that.
it even got the Nordic.
Well, originally the star was going to be a rose, is what it was going to be, but then.
So look, I have our logo tattooed on my arms.
You know what's crazy too is when you hover over the date, it actually tells the time the post was made.
158.
What were you doing that early in the morning?
I told you I was
AM.
that's what happened. I was making the patch.
Did you make that on?
Yeah, I was sitting in my dorm room.
Did you make that on Microsoft Meet?
No, it was probably off brand of mine. I couldn't afford Microsoft. So, yeah.
I mean, for a spur of the moment stuff, man, that's not bad, really.
Funny story about these photos. So
that was
this was my very first time joining with these guys to play Airsoft, and I went as the cameraman.
Yeah.
Well, at the time,
that's Hunter.
That's Hunter.
That is Hunter. Yeah.
He's so skinny.
That's where you got the dad bod.
So I had this bracelet that was bright green, and their bracelets to get in were also bright green. So they were getting their asses pretty handed to them pretty much all day, and yelled at me, told me to get in. So all I did was flip my bracelet around, and I just went in, and
you just walk right in.
Yeah, just walk right in.
Well, what happened was they ended up putting me into a commanding role when I didn't opt to be a commanding role. And so nobody's listening to me. You know how well it goes. You know, nobody's listening. Nobody knows what they're doing. And I had only 2 members of my team there with me that were actually, you know, listening to me. And so Alex over here, our camera guy, I was like, Alex, you brought your stuff. Get your stuff on. Let's get in there. I was like, come on. So then like 2 minutes later, he just comes out with his gear. And then we ended up just turning the game around completely after that. But that was where we first met Overwatch Tactics. They had sent me a message inviting us to go to that event at a water park, is where it is, at an empty water park.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, it's Joplin, Missouri. And so that was a lot of fun. You could go up the slides and stuff. They had a bunch of caverns there. Yeah, like that slide you could go up. It was a blast. They had a lot
Dude, this looks crazy because it's so like old and run down and overgrown. It looks like a scene from The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Lots of tetanus.
Right.
So we had a lot of good times there. And so as you can see, the grass is so tall. We're waiting for the velociraptors to come out and get us.
I mean, look, yeah, it is, dude. Look at that.
That's you, isn't it?
That's me right there. Yeah, that's me.
Here's a little baby.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our first Overwatch Tactics event. I think that was one of the very first ones they had put on at that point. And you're getting into our next Overwatch Tactics one, which was at Dog Patch, Arkansas, is where we went to. And
is that like here?
Yeah, that one was a carnival. It was an abandoned theme park.
Okay.
So yeah, that one was at a theme park, and the owner there. The owner there let us have a game going on there, and Overwatch Tactics hosted there, and that was where actually, if you probably know who they are now, Titan Battery. That was one of their first promotion vendors was at this event.
What?
Was there when? Yeah, I met them when that was one of their very first vendor booths was at this event here.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's how long I've been in the game.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, because I met the Titan Battery guys there, and I was talking to them, and they were explaining to me how great their batteries were, and just talking to me all the stuff I didn't understand about, and it was really cool. But they said this was one of their first Airsoft events they were out to, and yeah, I got to kind of meet them and talk with them about that.
Now, majority of our team actually runs.
Now, a lot of us, there's some of the pictures of the vendors there. Like JTAC was there; they were one of the hosts there too.
Right.
Yeah, so they were there. We met them. They came out with their tourniquet system that was kind of before the Milsom West tourniquet system.
Really?
So they had the whites. Yeah, they had the white tourniquets there, and they had a lot of those there. So that's where we got our JTAC tourniquets. And so that was kind of before the Milsom West tourniquets came out.
Yeah.
Or maybe around the same time.
This was before I even thought about.
Yeah. So there was a lot of cool people there and a lot of cool things that were there when they were just kind of starting off. And man, so seeing all this is crazy thinking to say
memories
going back there,
I mean 2017, when I say 2017, right, to myself it sounds like, oh, it's just a couple years ago. Bro,
Yeah.
this is 2024 already.
That's
insane.
A lot of shit has happened, especially in the airsoft community.
Right. That's crazy.
Overwatch Tactics isn't even around anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A little backstory on why. So, Soto and Overwatch Tactics would do Conquest of Avalon. I think they did 1 through 5. They hosted 5 different events, and it was basically just one big storyline.
Yeah.
I think I went to 3 through 5.
Yeah, I think so.
3 through 5, and every year was something a little bit different at that Renaissance Festival, and it was literally like, if you go to the Ren Fest anywhere you are, and you take out all of the civilians, all the original structures, I mean, even down to the props, there was like zombie props, like gypsy statues, and
they had a haunted maze.
They had this haunted maze, which was the worst thing you could put in Airsoft. There's almost 500 people
CQB,
at this event.
every time a CQB is always,
we have this little joke saying that we do is because we were on Merc, the mercenary team, and we're in the middle of this maze, and nobody knows who the hell is who around each corner. So all you hear, and I think we have it on some kind of video, and all you hear is Merc, 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 Merc.
And then everybody just started yelling, Merc, 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 Merc. And you hear some guy screaming.
So pretty much we just shot everything that even friendlies. So. It happens. Casualties happen. But yeah, this is crazy. So yeah, they even in the beginning, before I came, they made their own little profile.
Well, that's your very first picture right there of you.
Oh, when Hunter hit me in the nuts with his gun.
Yeah, I say that's your very first day going.
Yeah,
that was your day.
There it is. That was my very first day. No beard. He, for some reason, hit me with the stock of his rifle and thought it was funny, and so did I, apparently.
Now, what kind of gear and guns are you guys running on this picture right here?
So surplus. That was an Army surplus store. So the BDUs, I know Hunter on the left there. We actually went to I still go to them quite a bit. No, not Einstein's. I go to a place in Junction City. There's a base there, Fort Riley, and they get a lot of really cool stuff that these surplus stores. And one of them's called Military Outlet, and I usually take a trip there probably maybe once a month to see what they have. And they had a sell of all these like Cry Precision knee pads, and then like knockoff Cry Precision pants like he's got there. And then they had these really expensive shirts that they were selling for like $30. And so we bought just a bunch of them, and they had some vests there, and we just kind of loaded up and spent under $200 for a full kit.
Was that
That's wild.
Oh my God.
2017, yeah. Busy year apparently.
I think even if there's another photo of me wearing like construction glasses, they're like lime green.
That's what you're wearing that day. That's what you had that day was your construction.
I had no helmet.
You have like a ski mask.
I had no eyebrow. I think I was using like a cold weather ski mask.
Yeah.
That I would use when I would go like snowboarding. Yeah, up on the top left. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's your day one right there. That was day one.
Yeah.
That's all you need, man. That's all you need.
You don't need much to play.
So that vest is something that I already had, but I had to buy the uniform, and I think those glasses were from my garage.
Yep.
But that gun, which is actually they don't even make anymore. That was the Amoeba Ares Amoeba M4, which is now a pretty beefy DMR, but that's my backup rifle now, since I've upgraded every other gun that I have, and sometimes they don't work.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, so what do you guys run now?
So
Let's go up to some modern ones.
our biggest thing is we try to run the same platform, basically the M4 platform.
Yeah.
The idea is, so if you go into red on your ammo, that we can share ammunition.
Good
share
idea.
mags.
Yep.
I dumped through 900 BBs pretty quickly, so I'll be yelling for a mag pretty fast. So
You're doing
yeah,
covering fire.
Those are a lot newer.
Yeah, so right now, most of us, except you, have switched to the Crytax.
That's still
Yeah, I run the VFC Avalon, which has been completely gutted out. A lot of people are going to hate this, but I run the Gate Aster instead of the Gate Titan, which the VFC is down on the right, that copper colored rifle. Yeah, that's my VFC. So it's got an updated, pretty beefy spring, stock gears, because the VFC gears are just fine, but it's got the Gate Aster in it and the quantum trigger, and it is laser beams.
So what's the difference between the Gate Titan and the Gate Aster?
I think that honestly, I don't know what the difference is, other than obviously price point.
Oh, they are. So yeah,
Titan gives you much more features than the Gate Aster.
Oh, is that what it is? Like
the
programmable stuff?
Function and
oh, okay.
So I just finished kind of building. I've been doing a high speed build on a G&G 556, and I put the Gate Aster in it. It was going to be HPA, but I don't want to spend the money on the HPA setup.
Yeah.
And so I bought the expert version. So there's 3 tiers of the Gate Aster that you can get. You get the basic, the intermediate, and the expert version. The expert version actually allows you to customize down to the pre-cocking and active braking, and you can do safe, semi, and binary, or safe, semi, binary. You can do like a 2-stage trigger. So if you pull at 20%, it'll do a burst, and then if you do like a full 100% pull on the trigger, it'll do full auto, or however you want to set it up.
Wow.
I felt like for what I do and how I play, it worked out better for me, and it was only $90. So.
Oh yeah. So what is the Gate Titan? What are they, like 200?
Around there. I think they're over 100. Definitely 100 mid.
Yeah.
I don't think they're up to 2 yet. Maybe some places, but
Okay.
they're definitely over 100.
Depends on where you buy
who the retailer is on.
Gotcha.
That. But it's also one of those. Yeah, you're paying to win.
Right.
I know, because you had that, and then for the longest time, I had it still works as my KWA Magpul PTS ERG. So actual Magpul licensed airsoft before Magpul quit making airsoft. Yeah.
So that was a couple of weeks ago.
That was the old one too. Yeah.
I think that was last weekend.
Yeah. This is April 10th.
Yeah, that was last weekend.
Yeah.
That's Colin with the LMG, which he just bought, and he doesn't know how to use it yet.
You got it. Nobody knows in airsoft.
All of us not shooting anything.
Most people don't. Most people I've found in airsoft, they don't know how to run LMG setup. They want to. They haven't been taught. Okay, you are strictly for covering fire.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay, and they don't know how to do it.
At the time, we're just trying to find him on the field. So really, I would put my rifle on the ground or lean it up on some structure, and I would just run my Glock and just push in.
Yeah, that's funny. So are all you guys in this picture?
Yep. So far left is Dakota here. I'm the skinny one. And then Colin is the LMG, and then Alex on the far right.
Now, where is your guys' guns?
Mine's slinged over on the back.
Mine's on my back.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Mine's slinged on my back.
Yep. And what kind of pistols do you guys run, or secondaries?
So I run actually what my wife got me.
The one that doesn't work.
Oh no! You broke it already.
Yeah, it's the John Wick Combat Master, 2011 is what it is, and it's a great gun. It's just got to replace the seals on my mags.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are spitting gas all day if you don't. We had a couple of those as well.
Currently, I run a 1911 old Elite Force. And,
That's my kit right there.
Oh, okay.
Super basic, man. You know, less is more. You know that.
Absolutely. So you run the 1911. I love the 1911 platform, man.
I love it too.
Yeah.
The only thing is that the magazines love to bust their seals a lot.
The guns are made really well, but they do really shit job on their magazines.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of shopping for a new one. For more magazines.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then you run the Glock.
I run the Glock. I have a Gen 3 or a Gen 4 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one on the table.
Mm-hmm.
You actually found that one.
Yeah. So we were in Lawson, Missouri, and we were in the building called, so they color coordinate all of their buildings on their map. And we were in Black Building, which is one of the largest buildings there. And I was clearing a corner, and it was pitch black dark. So I pushed as far into the corner as I can, and I ended up kicking I kicked something on the ground. And I went to pick it up, and it was this Glock. So I had someone put it in my ruck on my pack, and we got back to our campsite, and we had left the next day, and I had completely forgot to turn it into the pro shop. And I got home, and I posted it on their page. I think I waited.
It was a few weeks.
I waited almost a month for anybody to claim
weeks.
it, and nobody did.
Still hasn't.
And so I ended up keeping it. I don't know if that's theft or whatever, but we don't go to that field anymore for a lot of reasons. There was a team there that is now banned. That, you know, the biggest thing in airsoft is that a lot of people, the honor system, it's not the best.
Right.
So, you know, people calling hits, and we had this group of guys. I think it was a group of about 4 or 5 guys that would be fully kitted. I mean, top of the line gear, the most money you could spend on gear, and they thought they were the biggest, baddest people in the world, ex-military. And there's actually a video on our YouTube of me. I'm like crawled up into this freaking cavity of a wall, and I'm shooting through this hole in the wall. And this guy kind of looks at me and you know, is super pissed off about it. But that was one of the teams. And so we originally had gotten banned from the field until I showed the video footage of the other team was the one that was, you know, negligent and not calling their hits.
Right.
So then we got unbanned, and then the field increased their prices from, I think it was $20 for an entire day of play to like $45 for a single day of play. And I love airsoft, man, and it's one of the greatest fields that I've been to. That was, you know, my cherry field of airsoft, and we refused to pay that for a full day. They even have events. They had a 420 event, I think, this weekend, and it's like $174 for a single day of airsoft.
Woo!
And it's just not worth it.
Well, the biggest problem that I had noticed that day was a lot of the people that were following us and, you know, listening to what we're saying were a lot of the younger airsoft players, you know, like we talked about 13 or 14-year-olds. A lot of them were following us, and we were playing, and they liked us a lot. We liked them. We always have fun playing with the younger players
around the field.
Yeah. And then of course you have these guys that come in and, you know, just kind of ruin it for everybody. And we just kind of stopped. We just stopped playing that day. Yeah. And then all the other kids stopped playing because they said that it just became unfun, and that they understood, and they kind of took that we were trying to stop their business. And that's not what happened.
You know, these guys would overshoot kids, and
we had a lot of kids coming to us saying that they were getting shot too much, or that it wasn't fun anymore. And it sucked. I mean, it was just like, you know, that's not why we're here. It's not why we're playing. We're not playing to hurt people. We're just playing to have fun. And, you know, like you said, if anything, it just kind of gives it a bad rap.
I mean, I pay to get shot and shoot. So, but I mean, if I've clearly got a dead rag on my helmet, I mean, and you're still getting shot, it's just it puts a damper on the entire day. So
Oh, for sure. And you know, what's weird is being a military vet myself, yourself, like it's strange to me to hear these stories, and I've heard them a lot about these groups of military guys, you know, vets that get into airsoft, and then I don't know, are they taking it too serious? Is that what it is? Like they're trying to prove themselves again or something? I don't
there's
get
a
it because
lot
it's strange.
since I've started. There's been a lot of people that just because a lot of people claim to be vets out on the
Well, that's
airsoft field.
true. Yeah.
I've even seen people out at this, particular field we're talking about, have get overshot or me myself. I had an experience probably about 3 or 4 years ago where we had probably about 6 or 7 guys clearing this room, and we had some people flank us a tagging round or a tagging grenade came in and triggered some PTSD, and it took the breath out of me, and I was like blurry vision, and I couldn't breathe really well. But then there's other guys that are $2,000 kits on their person and think that they're just the baddest motherfuckers in the world.
Yep.
And a lot of people do take it too seriously because they think that they're you know back in the shit, and it's nothing. Like, I mean, dude, you're slinging 6 millimeter BBs at people.
Yeah.
It's not the real thing. So like earlier when you started the podcast, talking about real life tactics and stuff like that, which I definitely agree that you can bring a lot of real world tactics into something like airsoft, but in the years that I've been playing in just airsoft and trying to push even just us guys into some of the tactics that I've learned in my life, it doesn't ever actually play out the way that it
No,
should.
it doesn't translate perfectly over.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. But you know, the point I was making with these guys that run these channels or these platforms
Yeah.
that censor it, that they're most of these people have never been around a gun. They've
Right.
never been around tactics. They see somebody geared up and carrying a M4 style or whatever assault rifle, quote unquote,
Yeah.
they're freaking out, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's a 12-year-old kid! Look at what they're doing!" You know, like, dude, just shut up. Okay, so yeah, I get it. That's but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand this. One of the things that I really wanted to do on this podcast too was uh, shed light on all the positive. And I'm not talking about, oh, let's everyone give a hug and sing kumbaya shit. I'm just saying, like, bro, there's all the stuff that gets attention for Airsoft Online is the no full auto in the building, you know, the fights, the
Yeah.
15-year-olds that are just blasting each other and getting pissed off and getting kicked out, and you know what I mean? Like, that's not the majority of Airsoft. The majority of Airsoft is what my boys went to. They went to an indoor field early on, didn't like it because it attracted the younger crowd. They go to 3-day mil sims,
Like
put
a
on,
CQB style.
yeah, CQB stuff,
I
it's
am not
just
a fan. Not a
yeah,
fan.
it's now if you, and there's a difference with that as well. So like you've got some fields that host a lot of speed soft tournaments, and
Yeah.
those guys, even when they have younger players on their team, they handle themselves pretty well, right? And because they're very competitive, they want to play by the rules, they want to win, but they're not doing stupid stuff. Like
Right.
they're not going to go off and just, like all ththese videos we see. But yeah, that was the one of the things I was like, dude, I don't know. We're gonna promote like these kind of people like you guys, okay, that are in it for the fun of it, and they don't want it to go away. Because if we just
Right.
keep promoting all this bull crap that's going around there now, it's well, I don't think it's going away anytime soon anyway.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so. If
it's only
anything, it's
growing.
growing exponentially.
Yep. Yeah.
I think as far as and then obviously you guys input, but going out to a field and having, like what we were saying earlier, having all these little younger cats follow us, and it's literally like a freaking Tonga line, you know. Cats. And like, well, where are you guys going? Where are you guys going? I'm like, okay, you need to go over there. You need to shoot that guy. You stick on my hip. And so that's a lot of fun. Actually, we meet a lot of kids that are in their teenage years or even in their 20s, and they're just kind of starting out to airsoft, and they're like checking out our gear. Our traditional colors, I guess, are black and tan, which I think is the sexiest colors you can wear. But it's a really good feeling having people kind of look up to you, being that younger generation, and kind of having them see what kind of tactical shit you can do, even with just airsoft. Whether they've got like a rental or, I think there was a video I posted last week of Dakota. He went up on this sniper's perch and immediately got shot in the face. Or no, some other guy got shot in the face as they're, and he had a minigun, and he then ducks down, and then this kid hands him a little minigun to start shooting, and then he starts having fun with it. So there's a lot of positives in airsoft. There's also, a lot of the negatives where,
Oh yeah,
you're cussing people out because they're not getting hit, trying to call other people's hits, or people
Right.
getting mad because they got shot. And that's, the guys who think they're just, I was in the military for X amount of years. There's no way you could have shot me, kind of people.
Right.
So, and I've had instances like that where I'm like, no, man, I'm way better than you. I've had training. But,
I want to pull up this. I think I found your Enola Gay smoke grenade
oh God, no.
commercial. I want to bring it up. Okay.
It's actually not a bad. It's not a bad commercial.
Nah, dude, these are cool, man. Like yeah.
We're just so young.
It's this one right here,
That's
right?
the first one.
That's the very first one.
Look at that video quality. Is that Colin?
That's Colin, yeah. That's the water park. And Overwatch Tactics said we had to hold up their banner if we were going to be able to do a commercial.
Woo, buddy. Those things are some of the best smoke grenades out there, man.
Oh, they've gotten better since this video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they put out some smoke, dude.
Maybe that was so long. That's crazy.
Well, this was, I think, Soto filming for us. He actually was using the camera, I think. Wasn't that Soto?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody from Enola Gay.
I can't remember. Well, because you were supposed to have the camera, and then somebody said, "Here, I'll take the camera, and you hold up our banner." And I think that was Soto that filmed it. I could be misremembering. I mean, what was that? 2016? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that was May of 2016.
So just real quick. So right above your mouse, where you see Dakota, the 156. So this was my very first time meeting Dakota.
And this is the first time we had ever played together. This was our very first time together.
Dude, the audio of this video is hilarious.
Yeah. And like I said, you and me did not say like a single word to each other.
So this was this is the mass in Missouri.
Well, I think at the time this was the MAC.
It was called the MAC.
This was still the MAC. Mako team still had this one.
Yeah.
But yes, this was your very first day playing.
And we didn't talk to each other at all. We were still trying to figure each other out as men.
I think after this is when we started talking. We're like, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was freaking awesome.
Like, bro, you're my husband.
There's BBs flying everywhere.
The third back memories for you.
Dude, this was so fun.
Yeah, this was.
And we still get down like this.
Yeah. That's one of the reps with a bullhorn behind us that was following us around.
Okay.
That was Hunter recording.
Yeah, because you and me were just clearing out.
I think we
Just
took
right
out
side.
like 15 guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the building that you actually found that gun in?
Yeah, we were the last 2 guys alive out of our entire team, and our objective was to completely clear this building to find some kind of tech or something like that.
Yeah. And then
So
I
who's
think
doing the camera?
Our other teammate Hunter. Yeah, I get shot in the freaking spine by this
Uh-huh.
little ginger kid.
And it misses your vest, of course.
Oh, dude, it was I still feel it. Oh my god.
That's funny. Well, I found your YouTube channel too, and this is the one you were talking about earlier with.
This was so much fun to edit. And for anybody watching, like when we're talking about tactical stuff, you need to be very wary of where the barrel of your rifle is when you're around a corner. Look at this
Yep.
guy. Wait for it. Right there.
He's off.
I just 2-tap everybody, and then this last guy, he shoots me with his LMG from 10 feet away after I already shot him.
Yeah. It was
But
close
yeah,
though.
so like videos like that will get, almost 5,000 views and then nothing on the other ones.
Oh.
Like the peekaboo one was way better than that one. So this is the Rock Airsoft in Bolivar, Missouri. They just introduced these shipping containers on their field,
And
which
they're adding
is
more too.
incredible. These guys are just getting medic.
Oh yeah, that's the one you were talking about. Yep.
And then I shot some kid in the face in this one. But,
That's funny.
yeah, it's just crazy. The way the algorithm works, man, is just
Right.
insane.
It is.
So
So
subscribe.
what do you guys?
Please subscribe so we can beat Zuck. The algorithm.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to switch over to Twitter and Rumble, like the whole airsoft community all at once. Just start switching over. I don't understand. That's one thing I don't understand about people that get their channels, or pages or whatever, they get them shut down, and then they try to start a new one, posting the same things on the same platform.
Right.
I'm like, bro, let's all move. Whenever I bring in the past, I've been talking about moving over to Twitter since Elon Musk took it over. Okay, and the very first, like, I don't know, 6 months, I would bring it up to somebody on here. They're like, oh no, I'm not going to Twitter, man. It's toxic. I'm like, it's just a platform. It can't be toxic.
They're all toxic.
Yeah, like it's only, you only see what you want to see. And if you see something that's fed to you that you don't like, you literally click the little 3 buttons or 3 dots and say, I don't hide it, like I don't want it. So it's really curated to what you want. So if it's toxic, it's because you didn't, go through and take the time to fix your own stuff that you're seeing. But at least you won't have to start over.
Yeah.
And worry about your posts getting taken down. Like there are a ton of people that I've had on here that I see in the airsoft community that probably spend 2-3 days a week trying to repost on either Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. And they're like, oh, I had to submit a thing, and do this. And bro, why are you wasting so much energy on this shit? Let's just move to a platform that won't censor it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does suck on Twitter and Rumble as far as gaining numbers, right? Like following and getting.
Oh, it takes a long time.
It takes a long time, bro. It really does.
Time.
I've been on Rumble for since 2020 or 2021, early on. And I'm not bragging when I say this. I promise you. I'm making a statement that there is a huge opportunity for airsoft on Rumble. I am the #1 Rumble Airsoft channel or on Rumble. Okay.
So you're bragging.
I'm bragging. No, I'm only bragging until you hear the numbers. I only have like 240 followers on there, and I'm still the number
I've
one.
noticed a lot of people are just too damn lazy to click the damn follow button. It takes less time to just click the subscribe or follow or whatever button there is than it does to actually look up the damn name of the page.
I know.
I don't understand that. It's this generation. They're weird.
You know what though? So that's changing. Okay. My wife and I have 5 children. They're all in their 20s. 3 of them have kids, and we have 7 grandkids. Okay. Actually, 2 of them are spending the night tonight. We're watching them because we have them this weekend. That's why there's Operation Stonebreakers going on this weekend, which is only 2.5 hours away from me here in South Carolina. And I've been to that one before, twice before with my boys as cameraman. And I was thinking about going this year because of all the people I've had on here that are at that event this weekend. But we have our grandkids this weekend. It's my daughter-in-law's birthday. Her birthday's actually on 4/20. So, and my son smokes. So it's, you know, they're they go and, you know, they go hang out. She doesn't, but he does. So, but we have their kids all weekend, and they're 5 and 3. Okay. Boy and girl. And my granddaughter, so when she's on the tablet or on my phone, if we're sitting there, we do she wants to do Snapchat videos, you know, with the filters. And I never post them. I just, you know, save them. And then she likes to look back at them. We were doing that before I got on here tonight. That's what we were doing. So trying all the new filters. And so the new generation, like her age, she is, if she scrolls through like the Instagram stuff or whatever, she'll like it and then hit follow. Like she is trained, bro. Like they know. So the next, that generation coming up. So if you can hang on and keep doing your YouTube channel until then, okay, and your Rumble channel, they will click subscribe. That new generation will click it. I'm telling you, man, she knows what to do. It's crazy.
Yeah. The content is like, I came over here to Alex's house the other day and we were going through his GoPro footage, and it was not good. There's a video I posted, one of the shorts that I posted. You can see a side. It was like the one where you were like giving Dakota directions on where this guy. There was like a sniper out long ways, and he was trying to give him directions of where he was.
Out of breath.
And you can see the GoPro angle is angled up. And
yeah,
we got to work on that GoPro angle. But,
I've had those. So we had.
That's one thing I'd say that's really hard in Airsoft is when people try to get to videoing, filming, audio, video. Yeah, it's really hard to try to get that stuff to work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it definitely can really ruin the day. Depending.
The app on your phone helps out like tremendously.
My GoPro always records upside down, so because instead of, you know, you can hit the power button and then record, but if you hit just the record button, it doesn't give it time to oscillate and rotate 180 to do it right side up. So,
well, my GoPros get shot out, so I don't want to hear.
He said GoPro lenses get shot out within the first probably 20 minutes of a game.
Oh my god!
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Just stop sticking your big ass head out.
It is one of the more difficult things to do for Airsoft, like videos and stuff, is that gameplay stuff. It is when we first started, once I started editing some of this stuff, when they started doing the gameplay, I was like, wow, okay, Silo, Novrich, Kiki Mustang, Airsoft Alphonse, all you guys that have been doing it for years, all of these hours and hours and hours of video they've had to edit. I'm like, props to you guys, man, because this shit is hard. Like just what you're talking about, those simple things where you go out for a whole day and your camera is just a little bit down too far or a little bit up too far. And when I'm editing, right, it's these guys' videos. So I put it in here, I get it loaded, and I start to edit. And I find myself when it's up too far, I'm like, I'm like bending my head, like kind of. I'm like, shit, I can't fix it.
Yeah.
Like that, it's gone. Like it's just I can't fix it. So
Imagine doing it from all your phone.
yeah.
Thanks.
So much like this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
It's a
crazy.
struggle, but I really, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun editing, and I have a really, I don't know if it's a bad or
Well,
good
you have
habit.
to edit for 3 people.
Yeah, I have to edit for 3 or 4 people and trying to merge everything into one, and then I'm sending it to these guys. Hey, what do you think? And then
Yeah.
you know, I post it on YouTube, and then it won't even be uploaded because it's not made for kids, or
Right.
the guidelines are wrong. But it is a lot of fun, and I enjoy the hell out of it. And I have a bad habit of watching my own videos over and over and
Oh, yeah.
over. And I'm just like, man, that's bad.
It's very common. It is very common. When you put a lot of, I mean, you're creating something. You're taking something from nothing. You're creating this thing, and yeah, it's definitely yeah, it's cool. I did the same thing.
In my mid-30s, my attention span is just as low as someone in their 20s. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is too long of a video, and so yeah.
There's
a lot of fun.
There's a scene in a kids movie that Gru. You know the Minions movie, where the Minions came from.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? I can't remember the name of the movie, but Gru is the character, and when there's one of them where I think it was the first one that came out.
No.
Oh, well, I don't. That's the little tree dude.
That's
The little tree dude. Oh yeah,
That's
the Groot. Yeah, you're talking about
Guardians of
Groot.
the Galaxy.
Okay, so they know, but I don't.
So it's Despicable Me. Okay, is the movie.
Haven't seen it.
And we've seen all those with the grandkids. So it's there's a scene there where he's a little kid. It shows kind of like his backstory when he was growing up, and he was inventing things, right? So he's like, he has one of these little tiny rockets you make, that just shoot up. You've seen those, right, for science experiments. He's like, hey mom, look, I made a rocket. Okay, and it's like, brr. And she's like, meh. Okay. As he's getting older, he's a teenager. He makes this cool thing. When he's an older teenager, he makes a legit full-sized rocket that goes into space. And she's like, meh. It's like you never. I felt the same way when I first started editing these videos. I would take all these hours of gameplay and put something together and put music on it, and then I'd show my wife, and I'm like, dude, look at this, and she has no idea how long I spent on this, right? And she goes, oh. And then she goes back to her phone. I'm like, what, bro? Come on.
My wife does the
Where's the
exact
love,
same.
man?
Yeah, I was at work 2 weeks ago when I was chatting back and forth with the XFOG owner, or whoever on XFOG I was speaking with about sponsorship. And I work in kind of like outside electrical / solar installing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're actually building, I can't go heavily into it, but we're building a new federal prison for the Leavenworth Penitentiary.
Oh, wow.
And I'm, on a federal job, and I'm emailing back and forth with the sales team on XFOG. And then I text my wife and was like, I think we just got a sponsor from XFOG. And she's like, oh my God, that's so good. And then I get home and, I'm editing some videos and posting videos like, look how badass this looks. And she's like, yeah, that's really awesome. And then right back to her phone.
Right. I think I drove her nuts and my other kids nuts by when I was like, look at this one and look at this one. Here, you need to go on here and watch it and hit the like button and do all this other stuff. When you first start your channel, you're trying to get all this. I remember when we first uploaded our very first video of unboxing, I uploaded it, made it public, and then I sat here and watched the analytics. And I'm like, nothing's happening. What the hell? Hour goes by, nothing. I'm like, I finally got bored. There's zero views, okay? And I'm like, what the hell? Like, when's it gonna go? And it took a while to learn. Like, oh, okay, I got it. Yep.
I remember calling my mom like, I need you to subscribe to this channel now. It's some tactical shit on there. You need to watch it.
Hey, friends and family are usually the first ones.
Yeah, yeah. So most of our likes and stuff on Facebook is like
Is his
my mom.
Yeah.
Like whatever, you know. Cool.
So, you know, when I had Kicking Mustang on here, and he goes,
I
the
love
worst
watching
thing,
this stuff.
yeah, the worst thing you can do is, now I hadn't told him that I had done the same thing you're doing, and you know, he goes, the worst thing you can do is tell your friends and family to go on and follow and like your videos and follow your channel. And I was like, really? Why is that? He's like, because they'll never go back to it. They don't really care about this stuff.
Nope, never.
So he goes, it messes up the algorithm for your videos. He goes, what it shows that the algorithm is that initially, when your channel first starts, people were interested in the first post, but then never again.
Right.
And so then it doesn't show it to as many people. And I was like, yeah, I would never do that. What? Oh shit. Yeah. So many people have done that, right?
Well, tell your mom to start following.
Thanks for watching our videos.
We're actually trying to set up a YouTube live for this podcast, and we've never done a live before, so it was like, you need to wait 24 hours, and it had like this countdown, which was kind of bullshit. But I guess you have to, if you don't have enough subscribers and or followers, and you haven't been live before, you have to wait X amount of time, which makes absolutely no sense to me, because we're not trying to monetize anything. I'm not trying to make any money off of it.
Well, no, it's not about that. It's about getting rid of bots.
Yeah.
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 So people create bots. People probably smarter than you and me that create software that creates a channel by itself. The program does, and then and so it's trying to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, because I think all of our probably 90% of our views are through like people's feeds. Like nobody will search it, but it'll just pop up on the feed. And
that's what you want. Ideally, your videos, you want it, once your videos like that one, that short you posted, that got posted in people's suggested. Right. And that's how I got so many views. So, yep. Yeah,
and then all the other ones are not in this.
No, you can see a big difference. I'm the same way. Mine are like, yeah, okay, whatever. I stopped watching it.
It's really defeating though. You're like, oh my god, 4,600 people, and then 70.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like a slap in the face, but it is what it is.
Right. Yeah, that's
right. Probably, because I'll post on YouTube. I'll be like, hey Alex, post this to IG. I'll send it to the our Night 9 Facebook channel, and then I'll put it on my personal page.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of people don't follow my personal page because of how political I get. So no views there.
Right. Yeah, you know what's kind of wild is it seems like a large part of the airsoft community is like they don't want to talk about any of that stuff, or maybe it's just they don't want to talk about it on their airsoft stuff or whatever. But most of the ones I found, there's a lot of people that really they kind of want to keep their head in the sand a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't. Like, you're literally the thing that you love to do will go away if gun rights get taken away.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. I mean, look at Australia. Look at all these different countries that have taken this stuff away. It is, it's inevitable if you don't pay attention.
I mean, other than your podcast, I've only heard of one other airsoft podcast that actually does like video. It's not another podcast. Airsoft.
Not another airsoft podcast.
That's the only other one that I've ever even heard of. I think that's what it's called.
I have no idea.
I think
why don't you know these things?
You're supposed to.
I'll have to look it up.
I'm looking it up too. Yeah.
Not another teen movie.
Not another airsoft, because I think I've heard of that.
Your podcast pops up.
Right.
Maybe they're not
No
a
Airsoft.
thing, but
there's a handful of them out there. I actually have a one
maybe it was
of
just
this.
through Facebook. Because I've seen Soto has been on there with Overwatch Tactics when they were promoting COA event out at the Ren Fest or the Ren area. So yeah, I don't know.
Wasn't there another one like ASAP or something?
Not another Airsoft podcast.
That sounds really familiar. I want to say that's listed. I'm gonna look right now because there's a this thing
Maybe
called
I'm just not saying it right. I don't know.
Feed Spot. Let's see. I got an email from a guy a couple months ago.
I really have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I have to pee so bad.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, right. Oh, no, I can't.
Pretty sure it was ASAP.
I
Or
have
something like that.
no idea.
Because they have some weird, kind of like futuristic logo.
Oh, really?
ASAP on there.
And this is the podcast about. Say about that. Yeah, no, I have no idea. You know, judging like doing my daily life stuff, I have very little time for social media.
You're your baby.
Yeah. That's why I gave it to you guys to take care of.
Well, when I do a Google search, like when I go under like a what do you call that incognito kind of tab, if you open up another page, new incognito window, right? It doesn't have any of my my personal information. It's not curated. You know, when I do a search, it's like a fresh search. So when I do that, this is what comes up on Airsoft podcasts under on the list for Player FM. Player FM is pretty big. So they've got ours on there. They got Airsoft and Chill. I've heard of that one. Guerrilla Airsoft Radio, Femme Fatale Airsoft, the Airsoft Experience, War Dog Paintball, Airsoft Socials podcast, Spitfire Airsoft, which I haven't heard of, but that was older, like 6 years ago. Has been Airsoft. A lot of these are older. Airsoft Medicine.
Older, yeah.
There's the one that I was talking about, the ATEP podcast was it's called All Seriousness Aside podcast.
Okay.
You're out of beer.
Yeah, I see that one right here. All seriousness aside. Yep. That was it looks like the last post was 2 years ago for them. I'm trying to find that one you're talking about, dude, because I've heard of that as well and I can't find it. Conversationalist, Milsim podcast with Tractor.
I'll have to do some digging and maybe send you a message or send you a link to it.
Yeah.
It was a really good podcast a handful of years ago, but it would be more than just airsoft discussions, which was pretty cool. They would talk about like real steel gear and stuff like that. But
right. Oh, do you guys follow Savage Actual or the Savage? Where are they at?
Wait, this podcast you're talking about, isn't that the one we were
Those
just
are
talking about? You guys on it?
Those are two Marines as
not
well.
another airsoft podcast. I don't freaking know, man. I'm old.
Savage, let's see.
Nope, probably no.
Interesting.
We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. No, I'm just kidding.
Not another.
Airsoft.
You know how to spell airsoft?
Oh, there's trifecta.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and so as far as airsoft podcasts go, the mine's listed up there because I
You're
post
the
so
best, right?
so often. Yeah. And I post so often, like real episode, like full episodes. So there's two full episodes every week, and I don't clutter the internet with tons of shorts from that one episode. I'll do like one or two shorts from the episode just to kind of like a teaser almost, and I'll post them on Instagram or whatever. But I don't usually post. I don't post a whole lot of shorts on YouTube, and so if you post full episodes, then you get picked up by all these websites that index podcasts. But if you
Right.
just post the shorts, it kind of kicks those out. It doesn't count those. So like, if you haven't had if you posted a short yesterday of your podcast, but your actual full episode was 8 weeks ago, it's only going to show that 8 weeks ago that you've made a post. As far as the podcasting websites that index that stuff, but so yeah, it's I do the full episodes twice a week. I was doing for a year and a half. I was releasing 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, every single week for a year and a half.
That's a
Talk
lot.
about a freaking, I mean, I'm talking recording. I'm recording those and then I'm editing them and then posting them and doing all the social media posts with it. And I'm like, bro, my brain was fried. Okay. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I really needed a break after that. But so I went down to 2. It's really helped. But
It's probably the sweet spot right there.
I'm trying to find this one. I think it's Savage Actual. It's Jason and yeah, I can't remember, but they have a podcast as well, and they're really good, man. These guys are cool. They have, but they don't do airsoft podcast. It's like real steel, like these guys were teams guys, so
See,
yeah.
I would like to have. We had somebody that was interested in doing like photography for us, like follow the team kind of thing. She kind of went her own direction,
Mm.
but it would be really cool to get into like the deep editing world of photography. And I've just some of these pages like the one that he just pulled up. I mean, those are some badass pictures.
Yeah, that was the Savage.
Oh, that was from Savage, yeah.
Savage team, yeah.
Savage technician or tacticians.
It was Savage Airsoft.
Oh, okay,
Like, they got some cool photos on there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Savage Actual. Okay. I'm going to share their screen because these guys are cool as hell, man. Come on. If it'll come up. Now, do you guys know about
What's the future now?
yeah, so these guys went to a they played Airsoft a couple times. Let me share the screen real quick for you. And that's one of the only other, but like I said, they're not an Airsoft specific podcast, but they have talked about it on here.
Escape from Tarkov.
Savage Actual.
Huh. No, I never heard of them.
So they've been to a couple mil sims down here in South Carolina at GTI with it might have been Stonebreaker last year that they went to. But see how right here they have special operations veterans react to airsoft battles. They do the reaction videos, and then they've also played.
What are your thoughts on stuff like that? I see a lot of these shorts like ex-British operator tries airsoft and obliterates the field. I think that shit is so dumb. I'm sorry, but who gives a shit?
Well, those became, well, I mean, they're popular catchphrases for
Yeah.
videos. So like there was one called Marine Reacts, and it's an
Yeah.
old school
Yeah.
Marine guy. Have you seen those?
I see him all the time.
Those videos, his channel blew up back in 2020, I think, when the lockdowns and everything.
Yeah.
And there was, when they changed their terms of service, one of the things they did was, and I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was something like free to share or free to something. But part of it was you could do these reaction videos where you could use other people's videos that they post on YouTube, as long
Oh
as,
yeah,
but
there's
you
like
could,
a
yeah, you couldn't go like more than 30 seconds without stopping the video, you know, because you,
YouTube allows you to mix or something
right,
audio and video, but you can take that off, not allowing people to
exactly.
share. Or,
Yeah, well, that's a more updated one recently, like in the last year or so that they've done that one you're talking about.
yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah, similar type of thing. They've given us control over our each video, what we want to allow people to use or not. But so yeah, if you have that open, people can use it for reaction videos. So yeah, that guy's channel blew up, and so all these reaction channels started becoming very popular. I I don't really watch them, mostly because I don't have time. I'm like, I'm recording, like I'm talking with you guys tonight, and then I have a podcast scheduled for Tuesday night, actually with some guys you might know. I don't know. The they have an apparel company called SFH, still fucking here, and this
Sounds
dude's a
really,
Marine Corps.
sounds really familiar.
Yeah, he's a Marine Corps vet. One of the guys that started it. He's missing part of his arm, both legs from above, right above the knees, and part of his other hand. And he and his friends, it looks like, have started an apparel company with T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. And he's heavily involved in the.
So he makes T-shirts for people.
I don't know. I'm gonna
If he
find
does,
out.
send me his info, please.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me pull it up because it's he's mostly on Facebook, I believe. That's where I found him.
There's
And
a couple of like reaction, I guess YouTubers that I actually are kind of funny and enjoy to watch. Nico Ortiz, he's kind of a newer one that I've seen. He's like a young ex-military. I think he was in the Corps, but he does some funny ass commentary with this stuff. I would love to be on one of those podcasts.
oh yeah,
Dude, he is hilarious. Nico Ortiz, I think his name is.
I don't think I've seen. Yeah, I haven't seen those.
Oh, dude, he is hilarious.
All right, so
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah, I've seen the.
Have you seen these? Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy here.
Yeah, they make some badass stuff.
So I'm having him and a couple of his business partners and friends, I guess, on Tuesday night.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And then Wednesday, I have one with. So I'm kind of branching out besides Airsoft. So I'm having these guys on. So the way I found him was he's connected with Freddie Lux that runs Veterans for Airsoft. I had Freddie on a couple times. And yeah, so he's I don't know how they're partnered, but they work together on some events or whatever. So that's how and I reached out to them. So like this coming, I'm too busy, man. I don't have time to watch a lot of these reaction videos, but I have seen them. But I would love to have time to watch all of them, man, because I you know those and the other stuff. But you know how it is, man. Editing, my computer is very slow with editing. It really is. So
the best ones to watch are like if you just type in YouTube Airsoft fails.
Oh yeah.
Well, people will load a fresh magazine and they'll rack the slide and they go to shoot and the BB just goes.
Right.
Who was that? Your gun?
That happened to my gun. Yeah, I'd say it was last weekend, as they just started dropping BBs for no reason.
It would fall like 5 feet away from me.
Yeah, that was very frustrating.
Oh, what? Oh my God.
Brand new gun too.
Well, it was we figured. I mean, it was a mag issue that was going on with it. It was the PTS EPM1s.
No, it was the Gen 2 PTS mags.
Yeah,
that hold 250 rounds, and they're dog shit.
We had a similar problem. Actually, I put it on one of the videos we made when we were doing. So two of my boys that were into airsoft, I had them. We were looking for more content to put out during that week. I was like, we need more content. Okay, let's film something. So I had them gear up. We went out in the backyard. I filmed, and they ran like a pistol course. Okay, and then after the pistol course, they did mag reloads, right? Like timed reloads. So they were standing next to each other, and it was like a contest. And so they had those little metal targets sitting on a table in the back by the shed, and you know, we're probably 30, 40 feet away. And so they have to start with no mag, come up, load, you know, pull it out of their mag pouch, load, shoot the target, drop the mag, reload, then shoot the next target, you know, that kind of thing. So we had a similar issue during that. Was one of the new mags they had, my son it was not locking in. So he puts it in, it falls out before he could shoot. So he finally gets it to stick. Later on, he puts it in, it falls out. Said, oh shit. Throw that mag in the trash, okay? I don't know.
No, Velcro works.
I actually use.
You had that issue.
I get a lot of shit. I get a lot of shit about the magazines I use. They were the first. I bought a 10 count box of
the Elite Force mid cap
140 rounders. I've had them since the day I started playing, and I still run them to this day, and they have never failed me. But they wobble in the mag well.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a piece of the like the female side of a Velcro.
Yep.
The fuzzy side.
It's like the felt, yeah.
Stuck it into the inside. Well, now I can barely get the damn things out of the mag.
Right.
So I need new mags.
Yep.
But I've dropped them and I've thrown them. You know, they've never broken, or the springs are still good. So I mean, why buy new stuff when it still works?
Yeah, man. Yep. And most of that doesn't really matter. Like, unless you're really trying to be really super quiet, like a night game or something, no one's going to hear that mag jiggling a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
People run around with drum mags, and the BBs are like, you know.
Oh, like the high caps, we call those bitch buckets.
Right.
Like, you got the windy wheel.
It's like, hold on.
Yeah. You're holding down full auto while you're winding.
Right. And they won't keep up.
No.
So,
that's a lot.
well, listen, guys, it's been great having you on here. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us on here.
Absolutely, man. It's fun. I love meeting you guys. So give a shout out to where people can find all your stuff going forward, unless it gets censored.
Yeah. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You want to plug? Soon to be Rumble.
So you can find Night Nine, anything Night Nine related on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Soon to come to Rumble. We're gonna start our kind of like small review going on. Obviously, it hasn't happened just yet set in stone, but I want to give a shout out to XFOG for sure. If you haven't gotten any of their stuff, I highly recommend it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's about it for us. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors as well. Jackal Tactical is up in Pennsylvania. Paul Whitman runs that. He's got 2 storefronts and a field, and then he runs, him and his team run Otherworld Milsim, and they do events all over the place on the East Coast. And so they're a sponsor. And then the one that has sponsored this from the very beginning of the podcast is Skirmish. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the skirmish system.
Yep.
So it is, if you set it up right, there's some fields that they need a little tech help, okay? But
Yes.
it's really simple to set up. But the one major feature that you have to complete first is registration of your bands, so that you know who has what and who's doing what when they tap a box. But this system, in my opinion, is like the future of airsoft tracking, as far as tracking all your stats on the field. Every event you go to, doesn't matter where you go to. If you went to anyone playing at the Stonebreaker, if they had that system set up, you would see all your stats. 2 months from now, you go back and look what objective you took, how many times you had to respawn or get revived, all kind of cool stuff like that. But shout out to Skirmish for sponsoring podcasts. Well, go to skirmish.net.
Really cool.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man, it is. When I first heard about this, I was like, why isn't everyone using this? Because, a lot of airsofters are gamers. And one of the things that we like to see at the end of a match or whatever kind of game you're playing is our stats. So I'm going, this is the only one out there. Now, there's a lot of different types of equipment that people use, on the field. Like Stonebreaker Third Coast Airsoft has their own system they've been using for quite a few years that they developed to show like their objectives being taken over. And it's a good system, but it doesn't track individuals. So this is the only one that I've seen, and it can be used for mil sims. It can be used for Speedsoft. So anyway, yeah, it's definitely growing. Ballot Hack Airsoft used it in an event a couple months ago, and Brandon, the owner of Skirmish, he texted me and was like, bro, I think my server's about to crash, because there were so many people. It was like the biggest event that has been, that Skirmish has been used on. So 400, 500, 600 people, it's pretty crazy. But and it's tracking that all in real time. You can watch a game on skirmish.net and see all the objectives. It's a top-down view of the map. You can see the objectives being taken over and who owns what, and the points.
That would be really cool too.
It is cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But
we had an app that we used out at down in Waxahachie, Texas. It was called Map Rica. It didn't give you any stats or anything, but you could actually link with your squad or platoon or whatever, and run around and kind of see their real time GPS position. And there was so many people using it, it would just keep crashing and crashing, and it was real laggy. So Alex would be standing next to me, but it shows him 300 yards to the west. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'd like to. So how does it count? So how does it keep track of all that stuff? Like, you have to physically, I'm assuming, input it at the end.
Yeah, so this is an RFID, right? RFID. So you have to tap. So he's created these boxes. So he's made all this stuff from scratch, him and his buddies. So the guy that created this is he went in the Navy, okay, for some high level stuff. He scored really high on the ASVAB. Really smart dude. And the Navy sent him to MIT. So he goes to MIT to work on this certain project. He brings that knowledge, whatever, back to the Navy, uses it for what they wanted, and he gets out of the military, and he's working with a contractor that works with DARPA. Okay. So he developed a mesh system for them for a way to communicate with drones.
Yeah.
And him and his brother went to a mil sim and a few years ago, and was like, he's going, they're going, like, they're on the field, like halfway through the mil sim and going, like, who's winning? Like, what's going on? Like, what the hell? Like, we don't even know until the end. Right. And not only that, when at the end of a mil sim, you only know, okay, green team won, and there's 350 people on each team, but you have no idea how individual teams did, how individuals did, like nothing like that. So he went home and developed this system where you could put this bracelet on, wear it, and then if these fields incorporate this, or wherever it's incorporated, I could take this band anywhere around the whole world, no matter where it's at. If they have these boxes set up and this system set up, it will track each place that has it set up. He has on his website on skirmish.net, each field that has it set up, the overlay of the map, like the whole thing set up, where the objectives are, that kind of thing. So he made this to use for big milsims or bigger events. And yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. It's and he can program each box however you want to use it. So for example, you can put a box. One of the guys that I had on here from KDK Airsoft, he has an indoor field and an outdoor field. And what he did was he took a small pistol case, cut the center out, okay, put a piece of plexiglass in there so you could, and he put the skirmish box in there. The skirmish box is only about like this big, okay, right. Maybe 6 inches by maybe 2 inches deep or whatever. And it's got blinking lights on it, right? So when you tap, the way it's programmed, if you have, let's say you're medic somebody, so he used this pistol box, spray painted red for a medic box. The medic has to carry this box around, and when you're down on the field, he has to come over to you. You hold your wrist up to that medic box for 15 seconds, and it'll beep, and it shows the red lights on the box inside there that, okay, now you're medicked. What that does in real time, it shows on the website real time in that game, this person, whoever this is registered to, has a number on the back that you register. That person just got medicked. So now you know, okay, you were down, so you got killed or wounded, whatever. Now you're medicked. It shows if I went over there and took over this objective, it shows in real time. I was the one that took it over. It's pretty amazing, man.
That's fancy.
It is the future of airsoft tracking. I'm not kidding.
Cool.
It's awesome. So
having something to recognize what uniform and who's on which team would be nice too, since we always get killed by the other team, and then the other team's medic will come and revive us, and then we'll wait for them to walk past us, and then we'll just take them all out. It happens. It's probably happened to Dakota and I 7 times in the last probably 4 or 5 years.
I believe it.
So that would be cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think we're gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Go to Skirmish. If you guys are interested in getting something like that, if you don't have it available at your fields, what I tell people is ask your field owner or contact Brandon. Like go to skirmish.net. I have all these links, between Jackal Tactical, jacktac.com, and skirmish.net. I have those links on all of our videos, and also the audio versions as well. So if you go to Spotify, you'll see these links in there as well. But yeah, go there and hit up Brandon and see if he can, hey, this field over here doesn't have it, and make a connection. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of the fields that we've kind of been going to the last year or so aren't really, I guess you would say, big enough to probably run something like that. We are going to ESR 19 here in a couple months, so that will be maybe something that
it's actually going to be our first major milsim event.
Yeah, that'll be
nice.
Next weekend we'll be in Wyandotte, Oklahoma for a LARPing event that we've gone to last year. Krabistan.
Yeah. I've heard of that.
We're going as mercenaries. We'll be in blue jeans and plaid long sleeve shirts. For some reason, we bought wool shirts, so it's going to be a little.
Oh shit! You got your months mixed up. Like it's not December, bro. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad.
Just cut the sleeves off. You'll be all right. Red marks. Red. You'll look like chicken pox up and down your arms. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. We'll definitely we'll stay in touch and.
Yeah, I usually try to have the same people on, or this, like more team members or whatever, like later on, a few months down the road, after some more events, or if you have something to talk about. Like I've had people hit me up later and go, "Hey, man, I just went to this event. Let's, I want to jump on the podcast." So I've had people on before, like 2-3 times to talk
Okay.
about events or whatever. So yeah, definitely have you guys on again in the future.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, brother. You guys have a good weekend.
You too.
You too.